students, welcome to my channel Learn, Grow and Rise. In today's session, we will discuss one important topic, that is balancing chemical equation. But make sure, before watching this video, you must watch my previous video on chemical equation. I have given the link in my description box. Please watch that video. Now, let us discuss what we will know in the balancing chemical equation. We will discuss what is a balanced chemical equation, why should an equation be balanced, methods to balance a chemical equations, significances of a balanced chemical equations, and lastly, I have given few important questions in the exam decode session for practice. Please watch my video till the end to know more about the tricks to balancing the chemical equation. Now, let us start. What is a balanced chemical equation? The equation in which the number of atoms of each element in the reactants, means on the left hand side of the equation, is same as the number of atoms in the product, means on the right hand side of the equation, is known as a balanced chemical equation. What is a balanced chemical equation? When the number of atoms present on the left hand side of the equation is equal to the number of atoms present in the right hand side of the equation, is known as a balanced chemical equation. Now let us check that the equation I have taken here is a balanced one or it is a skeletal equation. Now I have taken here the equation is calcium carbonate. When heated, it produces calcium oxide and carbon dioxide. Now let us calculate the number of atoms present in the left hand side of the equation and the number of atoms present in the right hand side of the equation. In the left hand side of the equation, the reactant is calcium carbonate, which contains the calcium, number of calcium atom is 1, number of carbon atom is 1, and number of oxygen atom is 3. And in the right hand side, the products are calcium oxide and carbon dioxide. When we will calculate the number of atoms present in the product, the calcium is equal to 1, carbon is equal to 1, and oxygen is equal to 3. Now, the number of atoms present in left side is exactly equal to the number of atoms present in right hand side. Hence, the equation is a balanced chemical equation. Now, let us know why should an equation be balanced. Chemical equations must be balanced to satisfy law of conservation of mass. The law of conservation of mass is given by Lavoisier. According to this law, matter is not created or destroyed, and we know that matter is made up of tiny particles is called the atoms. Hence, we cannot create an atom and we cannot destroy the atoms. So, the atoms can only rearrange in a chemical equation or in a chemical reaction. Now, let us check the following example given here. The example is that formation of the water from the hydrogen molecule and oxygen molecule. When we will take two hydrogen molecule and when it reacts with one oxygen molecule, it produces two water molecule. So, when we will take two hydrogen molecule, when it reacts with the one oxygen molecule, it produces two water molecule. Now, if you will calculate the number of atoms present in the reactant side or present in the left hand side is equal to 4 hydrogen atom and 2 oxygen atom, and the number of atoms we are getting in the right hand side is also equal to 4 hydrogen atom and 2 oxygen atom, that is present in 2 molecules of water. So, it's proof that the number of atoms present in reactant side is equal to the number of atoms present in the right hand side. Means we cannot create the atom or we cannot destroy the atom during the chemical reaction. what we are doing? We are just rearranging. Our atoms are rearranging to form a new substance. That's why the equation must be or should be balanced to satisfy the law of conservation of mass. Now, let us know what are the methods for balancing the chemical equation. First method is your heat and trial method. Second is that partial equation method. Third is algebraic methods. First, let us know what are the rules for balancing the chemical equation. The first rule is that you cannot be change the subscript during the balancing the equation. For example, H2O2 is produce the water molecule. If you see, the number of hydrogen atom is 2 in both sides, but the number of oxygen atom in LHS is not equal to the number of oxygen atom present in the RHS. Hence, the equation is not balanced. So, to balance the equation, we should not change the formula by changing the subscript. You cannot write the formula of the water as the H2O2. So, while balancing, the rule is that we cannot change the subscript. Now, let us know what is the second rule. Coefficient cannot be placed in the middle of the formula during the balancing chemical reaction. Suppose the reaction you need to balance is A plus B2 is equal to AB, or it produces the AB. To balance the equation, because we need to balance the B atom. So, to balance the B atom, you cannot put 2 in between. You cannot write the formula A to B. So, children, we cannot change the subscript, or we cannot put the coefficient in the middle. What is the third rule? Third rule is that reduce the coefficient of to simplest whole number ratio. Suppose you are writing after the balancing, it will get the number as 4H2 plus 2O2 will give you 4 water. You can see all the number of the coefficient present in the reactant side and present in the product side have a common multiple or common divisibility factor, that is 2. If you divide it by the 2, you can get 2S2 plus O2 will give you 2 water. So, we should reduce the coefficient to the simplest whole number ratio, a simplest whole number. Now, balance the polyatomic ion as a whole. Suppose if you are having the sulfate ion in a LHS side, so you will take the sulfate ion as a whole in a right hand side while counting the number of atoms. So it is easy for you. Now let us practice methods one by one. The first method is the heat and trial method. In the heat and trial method, what are the steps you must follow? Count the number of times an element occur on either side. Start balancing with the element which occur least number of times. When 2 or more elements have same frequency, then the metallic element should be balanced first. Keep doing till the equation is balanced. Okay, so what are the rules? First, you need to count the number of atoms present in both the sides. Now, start balancing with the element which occurs least number. Now, when the 2 or more elements having the same frequency, we need to balance the metal first. Now, let us practice the equation I have given you. So, let us count the number of atoms present in the LHS. So, in the LHS side, the number of lead atom is equal to 1, number of nitrogen atom is equal to 2, and number of oxygen atom present here is equal to 6. Now, in the RHS side, the number of lead atom present is equal to 1, number of nitrogen atom present is equal to 1 and number of oxygen atom present is equal to 415. So you can see number of lead atom is balanced, number of nitrogen atom is not balanced, and number of oxygen atom is not balanced. So what we will do now? We will start with the atom occurs with the least frequency, that is your nitrogen. Nitrogen is occur with the only one time. So let us multiply to balance it. Let us multiply 2 first. After multiplying the 2, so now you can see the number of nitrogen atom is balanced and it's become now 2. Now the number of oxygen atom also changed. The number of oxygen atom now your 4, 6, 1, 7. Now oxygen is not balanced. So what to do to balance the oxygen atom? So if you will multiply 2 here, okay, so what you will get? You will get 2 PbO. Now you need to multiply 2 with this because we are multiplying the equation with the 2. So your NO2 is your 2. The NO2 is 4 NO2 and oxygen is your, because now you can see the number of oxygen atom become, it is 6 to 12. So it is 8 to 10 plus O2 oxygen. It is 12. Okay. Now let us check whether you have balanced the equation. The equation is balanced or not. Okay. Now let us check the number of lead atom present. The number of lead atom is your, lead is now become 2 and 2. Both the sides in the LHS is equal to 2 and the RHS is equal to 2. LHS 2, RHS 2. Now number of nitrogen atom in LHS is equal to your 4. In LHS is equal to, it is 2. Number of nitrogen atom in LHS is equal to 4 and RHS is equal to 4. Now oxygen atom, it is 6 into 2, 12, and in LHS it is 12, in RHS it is 2 plus 8 plus 2, it is 12. So 2 plus 8 plus 2, it is 12. Now all the atoms present in LHS is equal to RHS. Hence now the equation is balanced. Now let us do another example, that is C3H8O2 will give you CO2 plus water. You can see the equation is not balanced because the number of atoms present in LHS is not equal to the number of atoms present in RHS. Now let us write the number of atoms present in your LHS, and this is the RHS. So in LHS the carbon atom is equal to 3, the hydrogen atom present is equal to 8 and oxygen atom present is equal to 2. In RHS the carbon atom present is equal to 1, the hydrogen atom present is equal to 2 and the oxygen atom present is equal to 3. Now you can see that the atoms are not balanced. So now let us start with the carbon, because you can see it is 3 and 1. So we will start with the carbon. Let us multiply it with the 3. And after that hydrogen is 2, least times occurs, so you can multiply it with the 4. Now number of oxygen atom you can calculate here. It is your 6 plus 4, it is 10. You can multiply it with the 5. So you will get, now after multiplying it with the 5, now let us again count the number of atoms present in the both the sides. Now the carbon atom is 3 in LHS and also in RHS, the carbon atom is also 3. The hydrogen atom present in LHS is 8 and the hydrogen atom present in RHS is also 8. 4 into 2 is equal to 8. Now, the number of oxygen atom present in LHS is equal to now 10. And the number of oxygen atom present in your RHS is equal to your 6 plus 4 is equal to 10. Now the equation is balanced. Now let us check another method, that is the partial equation method. In the partial equation method, we will write the half equation from the given equation. Follow the step in heat and trial method to balance the equation. The balance oxygen by adding oxygen atom and hydrogen by adding the hydrogen atom. Now let us see this. In the equation, I have taken one equation where the PbS plus O3 will give you PbS SO4 plus O2. So first step is that we need to write the half equation. This is the method in which we can know the step of the equations. So the first step is I can see here PbS can produce PbSO4 and O3 can produce O2. Now let us write the half equation for it. Half equation is that from O3 you will get O2. So to balance the extra oxygen, you need to write the oxygen atom. So let me write the oxygen atom. Now it is balanced. Now write down the PbS will give you the PbSO4. So to balance the extra oxygen, we need to add the, how many oxygen atom I will need? I will add the 4 oxygen atom in. Just to balance the equation, I need to multiply the first equation with 4, because you can see that in this equation given to us, there is no oxygen atom present in that. So we need to cancel the oxygen atom present in the two equations we have written. So to cancel this, we need to multiply the first equation with 4. Now 4 oxygen atom cancel. Now the product is that your 4O3 plus PbS will give you 4O2 plus PbSO4. Now, so 4O3, it will give you PbS plus 4 PbSO4 plus 4O2. Now, let us see that whether the atoms present in the LHS side is equal to the atoms present in RHS side or not. Now, let us see. LHS side, the Pb is equal to 1, oxygen atom is equal to 12 and sulfur is equal to 1. Now, in RHS, the Pb is equal to 1, sulfur is equal to 1 and it is 8 plus 4, oxygen is equal to 4 plus here it is 8 is equal to 12. Now Pb balance 1 1, sulfur balance 1 1 and oxygen balance 12 12. So the equation is balanced. Now let us see another example, that is Ki plus H2O2 will give you KOH plus I2. This means Ki produce the KOH plus I2 and H2O2 must be produced the water because OH is here. So H2O2 will produce water plus oxygen. Now this Ki, when it reacts with this water, it will produce I2 plus KOH. Now to balance the I2, I'll multiply it with the 2. Now to balance the potassium, please multiply it with the 2. Now the number of hydrogen atom is your 2, but oxygen atom is also 2. To balance the oxygen atom, we need to add oxygen atom. So now we'll get 2 half equation, and just to cancel the oxygen atom, we need to balance this or need to add these 2 equations. So the oxygen atom present in left hand side is equal to the oxygen atom present in the right hand side. So what if I'll take this oxygen atom to the left hand side, means it is minus. So it's cancelled. Now you will get the equation is your H2O2 plus 2Ki. You will get I2 plus 2KOH. Okay, so H2A2 plus 2Ki, you will get I2 plus 2KOH. Now let us see whether the number of atoms present in both the side is equal or not. Okay, so now let me write for this. Okay, so the number of atoms present in the LHS, potassium is equal to 2, iodine is equal to 2, hydrogen is equal to 2, and your oxygen is equal to 2. Now at the RHS, potassium is equal to 2, iodine is equal to 2, oxygen is equal to 2, and hydrogen is equal to 2. I think both the side, the number of atoms is equal to 6. LHS is equal to RHS, so the equation is balanced. Now, the most important method or the most easiest method is algebraic method. This method will take very less time, and you can solve almost all equations by using this method. Now, the algebraic method, what you will do first, what are the steps? Give a variable to each element or compound present in the equation. Write the number of each atom in both the sides. Equate the number of atoms of both the sides to get an algebraic expression. Solve the equation to get the value of the variable. Assume the variable occurs maximum time is equal to 1. Now, solve the equation and remove the fraction if present. You will get your answer. Now let us see the method. I have taken here HClO4 plus P4O10 will give you S3PO4 plus Cl2O7. Now let's take the variable to this equation. It is A molecule, let us take B molecule, it will give you C and it will give you D. So first take the variable for each element and compound present in the equation. So I have taken A for HClO4, B for P4O10 and C for S3PO4 and D for Cl2O7. Now let us write the number of atoms present in both the sides. So first I have written LHS. LHS A, number of hydrogen atom. For hydrogen atom, it is A. For RHS, the hydrogen atom is 3C. So what expression I will get here? Because as we are assuming the equation is balanced, so LHS is equal to RHS, so A is equal to 3C. The first expression you got. Next is that, let's see the chlorine. Let's see the chlorine. For chlorine, what is the A is equal to 2D. This is the second expression we got. Now, see the phosphorus. For phosphorus, it is 4B. 4B is equal to your C. Clear? Now, take the oxygen. Oxygen, it is 4A plus 10B is equal to 3C plus 7D. Now for hydrogen. For hydrogen I have already written. So it is your hydrogen, chlorine, phosphorus and oxygen. So this is the expression I got. Now next thing is that we need to take the variable which is coming most of the time is 1. So you can see here A is 1, 2, 3 times you are getting A, and C 1, 2, 3 times C, and B you are getting only 2 times, and D you are getting 2 times. So either you can take A is equal to 1 or you can take C is equal to 1. Let us take your C is equal to 1. C is equal to 1. So what is the value of A now? A is equal to 3. So value of A we are getting is equal to 3. So now you know that A is equal to 2D. So what is the value of the D? As A equal to 2D, so I can write here in place of the A, I can write value 3. So D is equal to now 3 by 2. Now C equal to 1. So what is the value of B? So B is equal to, so if I'll put the value of C is 1 here, if I'll put the value of C is equal to 1, so value of B you will get is 1 by 4 and C is equal to 1. I think we are getting all the value A, B, C, D. Now let us put this value. Now we will put this value in this equation. So the value is your 3 HClO4 plus B. B is 1 by 4 P4O10. Okay, P4O10 will give you C is equal to 1. So S3PO4 plus D is equal to 3 by 2. So 3 by 2 Cl2O7. 3 by 2 Cl2O7. Is it clear? So now what is the next step? We need to remove the fraction. So if I multiply the whole equation with the 4, so I can remove the fraction. So now let us multiply it with the 4. So if I multiply it with the 4, so what is the equation I'll get? I'll get the equation is equal to your, in place of your 3, if I'll multiply it with the 4, so I'll get it is 12. So it is 12. Now if I'll multiply it with the 4, I'll get only P4O10. If I'll multiply it with the 4, I'll get 4S3PO4, and if I'll multiply it with the 4, I'll get 6Cl2O7. So 6Cl2O7. Now let us see the number of atoms present in the LHS and RHS are same or not. So LHS and RHS. So first atom is your, let us take the hydrogen. Hydrogen is 12. Hydrogen is 12 in RHS. Now let us talk about the chlorine. Chlorine is 12. And here also chlorine is 6 into 2, 12. Now talk about the phosphorus. Phosphorus is your 4 here and phosphorus is also 4 here. So phosphorus 4, phosphorus 4. Now your oxygen and hydrogen. only oxygen atom. Oxygen atom, let us calculate. 4 plus 12, it is 48 plus 10. So it is 58 in LHS. So oxygen atom is equal to 58 at LHS. So oxygen atom is equal to 58 at LHS. And let us see at RHS. RHS is equal to, it is 16 plus it is 42. So it is 58. Oxygen is equal to 58. So equation is balanced. So I think it is the most easiest method to solve or to balance the chemical equation. Now let us take another example. In this example, I think please pause your video and practice it. Okay, so let us see that. First step is that we need to give a variable A, B, C, D. Now write the expression. What is the expression? It is 4A is equal to, see, 10A is equal to 2D. Now 2B is equal to 2C plus D. Now we can see which number occurs more times. A 2 times, B is your only 1 time, C occurs 2 times, and D occurs 2 times. We can take any A, either A is equal to 1 or B is equal to 1 or C equal to 1. Let us take C is equal to 1. Or let me take A equal to 1. So if I will take A equal to 1, what is the value of C I will get? C is equal to your 4. What is the value of D I will get? I will get the value of D is equal to, because D is equal to 5A. So 5. What is the value of B I will get? So 2B is equal to 2C. C is equal to 2 into 4 plus B is equal to 5. So 8 plus 5 is equal to 13. So B is equal to 13 by 2. So B is equal to 13 by 2. Now let us write the equation once more after putting the value. The value is equal to, so C4H10, C4. But again, we need to remove the fraction. So if I remove the fraction, what is the value? Now A is equal to 2, because I need to multiply it with the 2. So A is equal to 2. C will become 8. C will become 8. And D will become 10. And B will become 13. Now let us put all this value. So 2 C4H10 plus 13 O2 will give you 8 CO2 plus 10 water plus 10 water. Now let us take the LHS and RHS side. So carbon is equal to 8 and RHS side carbon is equal to 8. In LHS side the hydrogen is equal to, it is 20, and RHS side hydrogen is equal to 20. Now take the oxygen atom. Oxygen atom is equal to, here 26, and here it is 16 plus 10, it is 26. So hope children you can understand the method very easily. Now how to check whether the steps you have taken or you have balanced the equation, it is right or not. To check it, check the number of atoms each element in the both sides should be equal. No common factor or coefficient should be present. Now, what is the significance of balancing a chemical equation? The significance is that it satisfied the law of conservation of mass and it used stoichiometric calculation. What is the stoichiometric calculation? Stoichiometric calculation is the calculation by which we are using one balance equation. From the balance equation, we can calculate the amount of product and the amount of reactant exactly required for one reaction. Now, practice makes perfect. So please practice, practice, practice. The more you will practice, the more clarity will come and you will make less mistake or you will make no mistake while balancing the equation. Hope this is the exam decode session and I have given here 3 questions. That questions from the ICSE annual exam from the class 9 2020. So please write the balance the equation and write it in the comment section. Write the answer in the comment section. So hope that all of you like my video, and if you like the video, so please share it and do not forget to like, share and subscribe and hit the bell icon. Thank you.